Welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 1, Episode 21, An Apple Red as Blood. In this episode, as Henry begs Emma to stay in Storybrooke, Regina works on a plot that could rid her of Emma permanently.
Ooh.
I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate.
All right, we got to jump into this because this was...
Ooh, this was a good one.
Very exciting.
Oh,
Ooh,
boy.
yeah,
Lots of
was.
action and good story. This was awesome.
Yeah.
And we're one away from the season finale.
Dun dun dun!
Yeah.
Okay, charming.
Wait. Opening thing. First thing we see. What do we see, Mal?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Right. So we know it's Snow White. It's going to be about those guys. So go ahead,
Yeah.
Mark.
All right. One of my favorite scenes was in towards the beginning when Prince Charming was about to be beheaded.
Yeah.
And the blade at the last second turned to water, and water just sprayed everywhere. That was the coolest effect.
Now,
ever.
Molly, why was he getting beheaded? Do you know?
Because he wouldn't marry the one woman.
Yeah.
Right.
And he
Because
just wanted his true love. So
right, exactly. And then who saved him? Who turned the blade into water?
I don't know why
Reggie.
she did it.
You already knew the answer. I thought you said you didn't know the answer.
No, I was saying I don't know why. I don't know why she did it, but Regina.
Right.
Well, she did it because she said, "I have plans to use you to bring an end to Snow White."
Right. So she wanted to have the prince so she could use him.
Yeah. So she saved him in order to make his life miserable and ruin Snow White.
Oh, funniest thing I've ever heard.
What?
When I'm jumping really ahead with this.
Are you?
Okay. And this is the funniest thing you've ever heard. So
In
this
your
better be
whole
pretty
entire
funny.
life.
Why did Regina put all of those ever afters in to be miserable just to rid Snow White and Prince Charming's
That's
happiness?
funny? That's horrible.
Everybody
Oh, funniest thing I ever saw, that car accident.
Yeah.
That funniest thing I ever saw.
Everybody's lives have been destroyed because of this curse, and it's only to...
Are you the evil queen?
Yes.
No, but that is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
It's
horrible funny.
yes.
Yeah, horrible funny. Ooh, a new
Okay.
category.
So they're the dwarves and Snow White and Red and Granny
Yeah.
and the blue and all the fairies.
Oh, they don't. Oh, it's something very funny. When they're fighting, they're all like, and they hear in the brush, and they're like, and they all have the, like, Granny's got that
The crossbow.
crossbow and stuff. They got their shirts, and she's standing, and Red's like, what? Oh, funny.
Oh, Grumpy says you have a little something on your chin.
Oh, right.
She had just eaten someone, so she had blood on her chin.
Yeah, they were all nervous, thought it was an animal. Well, it was. It was red as a wolf, but you didn't see the wolf. You just saw Red walk out.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. So they're all standing there. They're waiting.
They're trying to rescue Charming.
Right, and they're going to go after the evil queen.
Yes.
So that's what we were seeing there.
And as they're about to storm the castle, have fun storming the castle. They're about to, and Grumpy says, "I miss stealthy."
Yeah, right.
Because nobody knows how to be stealthy.
Yeah, also, Snow White got them to put, like, they were sending all, fire arrows and stuff.
Yes.
No, that is not stealthy.
No, it is not stealthy.
I'm
That's
glad they didn't
telling-
bring Loudy. Because Loudy would have made it really obvious they were coming.
They
or
took
talkie
out,
me.
Yeah. You would be talky.
They took out so many of the knights, and we thought, oh, good, why, that was easy.
Yeah.
And then they were surrounded, and
Yes.
just as they were about to be annihilated, in come the fairies, and what did they sprinkle?
There were so many fairies.
They-
And what did they do?
They sprinkled sleep powder.
Yes, they put them all to sleep. But there were so many fairies. Did you guys expect that? Because so far, I think the most we've seen is 3.
Yeah.
And there were
Two.
like 100. No, 3.
When have we seen
Don't
one?
make me wrestle with you.
What?
It's 3.
When have you seen one more than 2?
We saw one with the blue fairy talking to the pink fairy that one time. Yep.
Okay.
What color?
I don't know.
You don't know it!
Magenta. Okay, let's move ahead here.
So what happened when they got in the palace and Snow saw Charming?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What was he in?
He was in a mirror and she didn't realize it.
That was
And then she's like,
crazy.
"Oh my gosh,
And they
oh my gosh."
realized
Well,
they
I love how
stormed
they
the
did
wrong
this.
palace.
I love how they did this because you saw him in the cell, and she finally gets there and she opens it up. This was like in a video game,
Mhm.
you know. She gets right up there and she opens it, and what is there? Where is a mirror? So we're using that mirror again, and Charming is trapped in there, and he says, "She's got me somewhere else." That was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all.
Well,
I thought it was going to be
she-
a trap, like she got in and the queen got her. or
He
something.
said she moved me to her palace.
Yes.
And what she's talking
I
to
bet
Charming
she knew.
and she's talking to Charming in the mirror, and his image is replaced by Regina's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, and the evil laugh too.
Yeah, and she tells her she wants a private talk with her.
Oh, I love this line.
What?
My favorite line. Guess what she said? I don't want to clean lip marks off my mirror.
Yeah,
Oh.
lick marks.
Lick marks.
Like she'd be making out with Charming.
Right.
Like
in the
kissing
mirror.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to kiss the
him in the
mirror.
mirror. She didn't want to
She
have to
said,
clean
I don't
that
want
up.
lick marks. Yeah, that was funny.
Gross.
So she says she wants a private parley with her.
Yes.
She wants to have a talk with her alone.
And says, meet me where it all started, which we know what that is because we saw that episode with Daniel.
Yeah.
They meet at the stable.
I
So-
thought it started with Charming, so I was like, where did it start?
No,
with
it started with
Charming?
Daniel
So
when
Regina
Snow
and
was a little
Snow meet at the place they first met, which is where she saved her on the horse.
Right.
And she takes her to whose grave?
They take her to Daniel's grave.
Right. And Snow had no idea he died.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
boy, Regina was not happy.
And Snow says, "You took my father. Haven't we both suffered enough?" And she says, "No."
Nope.
And
Well, at least she
So what does
has,
Regina do?
but She's
What
saying
is
Snow hasn't.
right.
Right.
What does she do in the scene then?
She said she gives her an apple.
Right.
She says
gives
it
the
won't
apple.
kill
The
you.
famous apple.
She says it won't kill you. It will be much worse.
Yeah.
And if you refuse the apple, Charming will be killed.
Right. So she's now got to
Yeah.
make a choice. She's saying, I won't take it. She goes, you have to take it willingly.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I'm not going to take it. She goes, okay, well, here's your choice then. You either take it or Charming dies. So now she's got to make a choice. And what
Yeah.
does she do?
Takes it.
And falls right over.
Well, first she says, "Congratulations, you've won."
Right. And she falls right over. And the apple bounces away down the hill. And it falls into a portal.
Yeah.
Which
Right
is-
into Regina's hand.
Not into Regina's.
So-
It drops
yeah.
into the Mad Hatter's hand back in
I meant
Storybrooke.
figuratively.
Right. And he hands it over to Regina because
Yeah.
that was the magic item she was after. That was so
That was
excellent.
very cool.
And I love that effect, too,
Yeah.
because when they showed the apple falling down the hill, I thought, this is really kind of cool. What are they doing?
Where's it going?
I didn't realize that the apple was going to fall into that portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
So then the dwarves and Red and
Red and
everybody, her
Granny.
posse,
Yep.
all find Snow White dead.
Yes.
Or they think she's dead.
Well,
don't.
Red does the thing where she puts the blade under her nose to see if there's any steam, because that's how you can
Yes.
tell if somebody's breathing, and there's nothing. They think she's dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we know she can't be because
Because then there would be no.
there'd be no Mary Margaret.
Right.
But they all think she's dead.
It's the thing. They kiss and
Yeah, didn't they
Well,
do that in
hopefully,
Snow
yeah.
White? Didn't
Yeah,
all
they
the
had
dwarves
her-
thought she was dead, and then they put her in the glass coffin?
Well, in the Brothers Grimm, they pull the piece of apple out of her mouth and she comes to.
Oh.
There's no kiss.
Yeah,
It's-
but this will be True Love's
there's a
kiss.
hunk of apple
In her
lodged in her mouth, and as soon as they remove it, the spell breaks.
Maybe
And
she should
she's-
try flossing once in a while. Maybe if they got her Sonic
or
hair.
chewing.
Or chewing.
Okay.
They should get her Sonic hair.
Yes.
yeah.
So let's discuss Storybrooke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Regina and Henry
Yeah.
eating.
Yes.
The first scene opens up with Regina and
Oh, this
Henry
was
having
great.
an awkward dinner.
Yeah.
Now, I was wondering here, when this started, you see them eating. The last thing we saw in the last episode was Emma taking Henry and leaving town.
Right.
And here he is having dinner with her.
Well, it
It very quickly turns.
shows that very soon that it's a bad dream.
Right, because
Yeah.
the doorbell rings or whatever, and she goes to the door.
Like, what?
And the same, but here's what's interesting. The same people that were at the door, the mob, were the people, it was the 7 dwarves,
Yes.
it was Red, it was Granny.
Yeah.
The only difference is Emma is with them.
Exactly.
And Dr. Hopper.
And Dr. Hopper was there,
they're
too.
They're there to lynch her.
Yes. And then she turns around, all nervous, and there's Henry standing on the stairs with a rope.
Yeah.
What?
She was dreaming that they beheaded her. So they get her out and tie her to the tree, and then Emma takes a huge sword and starts to go towards her neck, and then they cut away.
The other thing that was crazy there was Emma plucked an apple off the tree.
Yep.
And squeezed.
And it was black.
Yeah. And she said it's rotten to the core. Kind of like
you,
Regina.
lady.
Yeah.
So Regina's apples, though, in real life, in Storybrooke, none of this is real, but in Storybrooke world, her apples are actually rotting. And she thinks the tree is dying because the curse is weakening.
Yes.
And I think she actually might be right.
Well, yeah, she is.
So she goes to Mr. Gold.
Right.
And they have to try to talk this out.
And she starts talking it out, and he doesn't want to make a deal.
Well, he actually...
He has no reason to.
This is the first time anyone admits that the only reason the curse is there is to ruin Snow White and Charming's happiness.
That's the whole...
They're destroying everybody's life. They put everybody on hold, destroyed everybody's lives.
Well, not they. Keep in mind.
He had plenty to do with it.
He did it. He did the curse, but he wasn't the one that thought this thing up. Regina did the curse, wanted the curse.
But still, he had plenty.
Yes, he did. But to him, a deal's a deal. It doesn't matter if it's for that or what it's for. If you make the deal and he gets what he wants, that's all that matters.
Well, and he says, perhaps you giving up Henry is the price you pay to keep the curse unbroken. And she says, I think I'd rather get rid of her.
Yeah.
Right.
So if she kills Emma, though, Mr. Gold set it up so that if Regina kills Emma, the curse is broken, and they all have to go back to Fairy Tale.
Right, and I love how Regina called him out on this, too. She's like, you put that in there. Well, of course, because we know Rumpelstiltskin always tries to angle it to his benefit, right?
Of course.
But then he was kind of being good for once.
Where? Here?
Yeah, he kind of made it so they could all go back.
Yes.
Well, he also was. He was being good somewhat because he wasn't letting Regina have total power.
Yes.
So you could look at it that way, for sure.
Being bad because she would have because
he ruined everybody's lives and took away their happiness.
Yeah.
I would say that's bad.
And because you have to kill Emma to go back.
Right.
So yeah.
So okay.
So
now Regina then. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, this was interesting. She goes to the school and puts the White Rabbit card on Paige's bike.
Yes, I love that. I thought that the card was cool and everything. She put it on there. And why was she doing that, Mal?
Because she's the Mad Hatter's daughter.
Well, yeah, but why did Regina put the card on Paige's bike? What was she trying to do?
She was trying to show her?
No.
No? She was trying to send a message.
Signal the Mad Hatter to come to Regina.
Right.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with Paige. I think Paige shouldn't have.
She knew
he was watching over Paige.
Right. She knew that Jefferson was watching over Paige. That's why she put it there. It's just like on X-Files.
Yes.
The way that Mulder would signal.
He would put the X in the window.
Yeah. He would put an X in his window, and then his handler guy knew to come to him.
Or the light. Certain seasons he'd shine the light in the window.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you want to fall down the rabbit hole of X-Files?
No. So Jefferson got Regina's message.
Uh-huh.
And he says, now I thought this was really interesting. She says, your daughter, Paige, and he says that Regina is the one who changed Grace's name to Paige.
Right.
So she had that much control that she's the one who changed everybody's names and did all that.
Give him identity, sure.
I did not realize the extent.
He's just awake to it.
Yeah.
And he also made another reference later in the episode where he said, it's awful. Because I'm awake, I live in two worlds.
He says it here.
I have two lives. Oh, it's this scene? I thought it was later.
No, because she gives him his hat back, and she wants him to use it again so that she can go back and kill Emma.
Right.
And she says,
as a baby,
we need to work together here. We both want our families back, and we should work together. And he says, you're not going to give her memory back and make her have to live in both of these worlds.
Yeah, because it's awful for him.
He said, I will work with you, but you have to write us a new story.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is, as we have seen...
He has to write a new story with him and Paige,
yes,
right?
So that
as we have seen, though, making a deal like that with Regina is not going to work out.
Yeah.
Just like with Mr. Gold, you got to be so careful on how you word it, and you probably can't word it right to keep it from being a bad thing for you.
Right. So Regina and Jefferson are trying to make the hat work.
Yeah, this was cool.
They don't have enough magic, but she takes the ring she got from Daniel.
She took him to that area where she had the hearts and all that stuff that we saw before.
Her palace is underground.
Right. And
That's
she
so
said there's
cool.
just a little bit of magic left here. She dumps some of it in the hat, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And that's when she pulls the ring out. In the ring, we could see Daniel's face in the middle.
Yeah.
So that still had magic.
So she threw that in, and it still didn't work.
Well, it spun.
It was kind of wearing.
No, but they couldn't jump through it.
Right.
No.
So he says, wait a second. If you can guide the hat to a time and a place, I can reach in and grab whatever object you want.
Something small. And she goes, oh,
I know what to
grab. What did she grab?
The poisonous apple. She
fed the one that she poisoned Snow White with.
Yeah.
But what does she want to do with it this time?
She wants to give it to Emma.
Right.
So what does she make her?
She makes her a yummy
turnover.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks good to eat.
And so she and Emma meet. Emma comes to her house in Storybrooke. And Regina, she's saying, look, we need to be able to, I'm going to leave town, but I want to still be able to see Henry. And you have to understand that there's not going to be a period of time where I'm not in his life, but we just need to be able to work together. And so Regina says, oh, of course. Okay, come in my kitchen for a minute. And she gives her the turnover to take home. And she says, I do hope you like apples.
Right.
So Regina meets with Mr.
In
Gold
real life, if she was just giving her a regular thing, I would say that was nice. But she's actually trying to poison
she wasn't
her.
doing it to be nice, was she?
I know. She was actually... But
Are you angling for a turnover? Is that what you're doing?
I want a turnover.
I knew you did!
But she meets again with Mr. Gold, and she says, I hope you bought travel insurance because no one is going anywhere.
Yeah.
And Mr. Gold...
she was so full of herself here, too. She thought she had it solved.
Mr. Gold wants to know how she did it. And he reminds her...
What does he remind her, Mal?
He reminds her that if Emma dies, the curse is broken.
But
she used magic.
She used magic, and he said...
All magic comes with a price.
Exactly.
Right.
Wait, I'm getting a little weaker on that voice. All magic comes with a price.
There you
Oh,
You'll have to work on it.
What happened?
You'll have to work on it.
So Emma, let's talk about Emma's story a little bit on here. Emma goes to Mary after she had abducted Henry. She comes back to Mary Margaret, and Mary Margaret is not
What was the
happy.
line?
She's like, so you abducted Henry? She said, and Emma says, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Really, you did.
You did.
Yeah.
So...
Well, this you also pointed something out, Molly. At this point, through most of the series, Emma has acted more like the mother with Mary Margaret. But in this one, Mary Margaret acted like Emma's mother to her.
Yeah.
Did she not?
That's what Molly said.
I thought so too. Like she was teaching her a lesson. She was talking to her like a mother.
She was kind of scolding her.
Yes.
Like a mother.
Yes.
And you're a mother.
Mm.
Yep.
And Emma needed scolding.
Yes.
Yes,
Emma meets with Dr. Harper.
Harper.
Who's Dr. Harper?
I don't know.
Is there a new character?
That. No. Emma meets with Dr. Hopper, and she's thinking he's of course going to support her in this desire to have Henry.
Right.
And actually, he says, he's gotten in a lot of trouble since you've come back in his life.
Yeah.
And he says, you guys need to just learn how to work together if you're both going to be in Henry's life. So he's telling her, I'm not really sure that you just taking him and being his parent is going to be
it may not
the
be
best thing for him.
The best solution to the problem.
So that was kind of interesting. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Henry
ready.
comes over to Emma's house.
Hold on, let me get my ready pants on.
All right.
What are ready pants?
So what happens?
What happens when Well, first, wait, we skipped one thing that was important.
Okay.
Henry went over to August.
Yes.
And he got to see his wooden arm.
Yes.
And Henry said, "Oh, I was right." Like all that time we thought he fully believed the curse, but he didn't. He was still thinking, "I hope I'm right."
Yeah.
But
well,
here
and not just
he
that.
went, "Oh my gosh, you're Pinocchio."
He figured out he's Pinocchio because I don't think he knew who he was before that.
No.
So now it is
just
solid. He
very
knows.
good scene.
And Pinocchio is getting nervous because he says, "Hey, this is going to keep going unless this curse is broken. I'm going to have a hard time breathing. Yeah. I'm going to have a hard time moving." It's
so
tough.
He says, "You're on your own. You're going to have to do this by yourself now. I'm no longer going to be able to work with you on this." Not that he's against him, but just because physically he can't do what needs to be done. He's like, "Henry, this ride's on you now.
Right.
You know, everything is going to hinge on you." So Henry goes over to Emma's, and she's got the turnover sitting there on the island.
And he's like, "Wait, what was that?"
And she tells him that she's leaving and about their deal, you know, with Regina.
It was really
and Henry,
and he hugs her.
It was sweet.
And then he's like, "What is that?"
And if
I said it, I'd be like, "Could I have a bite?"
You would have eaten it by now. You would not have even
It wouldn't have been a dramatic scene. It would have been you over there. No.
Got to get it in before the poison hits.
Poison's affecting.
You probably still would have eaten it had you known it was poisoned. You would have been going,
I just
got to go faster.
You're falling over, shoving it in your mouth.
So Henry warns her not to eat the turnover, and she's just saying, "Come on, Henry."
Right, because she doesn't
believe. I've got to show you. So he takes a bite.
He knows.
And she's like, "Would you like some ice cream with it?" And he falls over.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because at first he took a bite and nothing seemed to happen. Yeah. And she still didn't believe, but then he fell over in the same type of position as Snow White did.
So what do you guys think?
So what has to happen now?
The curse has to be broken.
There's no solution now other than the curse has to be broken.
Yeah.
But what
or Prince Charming has to kiss him. That's a little weird.
Huh?
What is going to happen to Henry?
Dead.
What's going to happen to Regina?
Dead.
Because now she can prove that Regina poisoned was trying to kill her.
Yes.
So they should be able to put Regina in jail.
Well, more importantly, they got to solve the curse.
Queen's in jail.
She has to try to solve the problem the way Henry wanted her to, rather than pursue throwing Regina in jail.
She's going to need August.
Because she has to break this curse. And I think now she's going to realize it's all real.
Yes.
Because how else would he know that was poisoned?
And why would he fall over?
Well, and she still might not believe, but if she finds out that he's not dead, but in this, state that Snow White was in, maybe she's will buy into it.
Yeah.
She's going to believe because it's going to propel the whole next season.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need
Spoiler,
to see
there's a next season.
Yeah. We need to watch the next episode.
There's 4 seasons. How could you not know there's another season?
Right.
And
all right. Let's end it so we can watch the season finale.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of Ever After and Ever After in Wonderland and all of our other podcasts at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
You can follow me on Twitter at rsouthgate, Martha on Twitter at
SMG Pods.
You can find us on Instagram, SoundCloud, Pinterest, Tumblr. Basically, we're all over social media. Just look for Southgate Media Group. You can find us on Facebook also, and you can also look under Ever After Podcasts. We're on some of those under that name. Everything we have a presence is Southgate Media Group. So follow us all those different ways. Get into conversation with us. You can send us emails at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. And follow us on iTunes. Follow us on Stitcher. I mentioned SoundCloud, Podbean, Zune, BlackBerry, TuneIn Radio. We're on all of them. So
anywhere you can get podcasts.
Yes, and if we're not there, what should they do, Molly?
Tell us.
And then we can get on that one. That's it. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. One more episode. Let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button.
It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.